I'm sorry if my voice sounds really weird, but I have a cold and you know, it doesn't really, it's a really bad cold. I've had it for like a week and I need to take pills. Alright, let's get back to the video because no one wants to know about my cold. Stupid cold. So someone asked me in the comments before if I could do a video on brush settings, and I thought, well, why not? It seems fun. So yeah, and while I'm at it, I'll just show you the settings for other things if you like. So every normal sketchbook canvas starts out to be around 1366 pixels wide and 685 pixels high, and you can change that if anytime you like. If you go in up here, yeah, into image and then canvas size, and there you go. And I really don't know what that's for. I guess it's just to show which way it's going. Yeah, okay, so I'll just change that to a square, and here we have it. So in Sketchbook there's like a bunch of windows you can get. Like, I think the default layout is this, and I don't know, I used to start out with this, but it just got super boring after a while. So after I found out about this color wheel, I got rid of this because I thought, I just didn't like it. Sorry. And yeah, I got rid of that. I kept the, that was the color puck, and I kept the brush puck because that's to adjust the, size and plasticity, never mind, of the brush. And I got rid of this because I don't actually know why I got rid of that, but I just thought this one looked, not that one, more aesthetic, if you know what I mean. Aesthetically pleasing. Sorry. So I keep that over here. I keep it just about this big, and yeah. And the last thing that I always have to have with me is the layers. You can get the layers up here. There's like 3 pieces of paper up here next to the brushes and the stabilizers, shapes, that sort of thing. And yeah, up here. So you can adjust the height and width of that, and it sort of lengthens itself to as many layers as you get. So like you see up here. Oh yeah, I'll show you how to get layers as well. So to get a new layer, I think the easiest is to sort of press down on the layer that you already have, like, yeah, and then you get all these layer settings. Like, you have lock layer, you have merge with below, you have merge all, you have rename layer. You can rename layers, but I don't really see any point in naming layers. It just makes it just takes longer, you know what I mean? But that's just my opinion. Anyway, you can delete the layer, and you can't delete it if you've only got one layer above the background layer, because for some reason it doesn't let you. You have no control over the background layer, by the way, except for, and then you have the add layer, which is the one I use the most. Duplicate layer here, and for example, I draw something here. What the hell? is that. Okay, anyway, duplicate it, and then you have it on both layers, and you can, yeah, I'll delete that. And then you can also hide the layer, but the easier way to do that is just to click the sort of eyeball shape here. I don't know what to call these things, I'm sorry. It's just, I'll do it to the best of my ability, which is really bad, seeing as how much English. So, instead of using erasers, I have this weird habit of just deleting layers if I don't want anything on them. And then I end up with layer 3 instead of layer 1. Anyway, so up here you have basically everything you need. You have, so the ones I use the most are the select tool. So you see, if I draw something over here and then I select over it like a square, I can then draw in that square. And if I deselect it, which is up here right next to it, or here when you click on the select options, you can select a circle and you can move it around, draw inside it, and get rid of that. And then you have the lasso, which is the most useful, and I never use the shape ones, by the way. And you can use that, and then if you don't want to move it around, you can just click the add section, and then you can deselect it if you like that, or the easier way is to deselect the whole thing. And you also have the power of inversing it, which is right here next to the deselect, both deselect tools. And I never really understood the point of this, really. It's just, okay, that's actually cool. Okay, wow, I've never used it at all. That's probably why I didn't understand the point of it. And the one I see the most fit for like drawing, like, I don't know, is this one. Oh, sorry. You can select, like, I don't know how to. It's called the magic wand. You can sort of select everything you've colored in a particular color, and yeah, basically, see, and you can deselect that. So next to that you have the crop tool, where you can crop it to whatever height and width you like. I don't really care about that proportional scale, but you can use it if you like. And you can always click the undo tools up here, to undo and redo tools up here to like get it to its former size. And then this one is the quick transform tool, so you can move whatever you have on the particular layer that you have selected around, and you can do it with the whole layer, or you can pick a particular part of the layer and then move that around. Like, you can turn it if you click on that, and then you can make it longer, bigger. Yeah, so that's pretty cool and very useful, by the way. This one is the transform tool, so you can sort of change, what do you call it, the thing about, never mind, just the way you see it, I'm gonna call it that. I used to know what it was, but I forget everything. Yeah, that's what you can do with it. And this is the flood fill, and you can do it with sort of like gradients. Yeah, you know, it's pretty cool. And you can also change the tolerance levels and which layer, well, not which layer, but like if you want to do all layers or just sample one layer. And then you have the text tool, and that's okay. I guess you can download fonts and stuff and it'll end up on here. Not too complicated. I guess it's sort of like Word, but meh. I don't really see much point in it unless I really have to use it. And so then you have the ruler tool, which is useful in situations, I guess. I just don't really do much of it. Yeah. So then you have the circle tool, and this is useful, I suppose. I mean, I hardly ever use it, but yeah, and you can change the size, width of it, and where you want it, and there really isn't much point in that, but yeah. And then you have the French curve. I don't see much point in this. And you have perspective guides. You know, it's sort of, yeah, for perspective, like the background layers and stuff. Well, you know what I mean. And then you have the symmetrical, well, symmetry, they call it that. And you can change, you know, that sort of thing up here. And you know, it's pretty cool, I like it. Yeah. That's so nice and all. And then you have this, and I see no point in it at all. It's the steady stroke, and I never use it really. And this one's useful when I'm drawing circles and I don't want to use the circle tool. This one's the predictive stroke, and it's quite good actually. Like if you draw a wonky circle, it fixes it to make it look smoother and rounder, and you know, I like it. And these are the shapes. You can draw lines, squares, rectangles, circles, ovals, more lines. Then layers, brush palette. That's really not necessary, but if you like it, then yeah, go ahead, use it. Then you have the color editor, which is over here, and the Copics library, and I never use that. I just find my own gradient stuff. So yeah, and then you have this thing over here, which I never use and don't see as useful since you've got all those settings up here anyway, so I don't know why that's there, but I can't get rid of it. So now let's go to brushes. So I've got all these sets of brushes that I can download here. Occasionally it comes up with this thing called new brushes where they've got like it's called Sketchbook Extras really. What was it? You can have it. Oh, you can't get it anywhere but here. But yeah, so you have all these brush sets that you can download. I've downloaded like all of these anyway, and they're actually really good. They're like, they've got settings of their own and they're nice for like different things. This one, okay, right, I'll tell you about that later. So you can, so the first brush is one I sometimes use for, well, line art and yeah, rough sketches. So this is, well, that's not its actual name. that was just a Doctor Who reference I thought I'd put in there because I'm trash. And right under is a Hamilton reference. Let's go. So these are actually just my, I don't know why I call this, it's just the normal brushes, like the ones I use the most. So this one is sort of a rough brush that came with, where was it? I think it was the artist set, which is in Sketchbook Extras, like I told you before. The new brushes area that was up here before. And yeah, so you can move brushes up and down. Hold on, if you sort of hold onto them and like drag them, you know. And then we have the pencil, which comes with the free version of Sketchbook, which is okay, I guess, but it just didn't have all the right stuff for me, if you know what I mean. And this one, I haven't used it in like months. It's okay, I guess, but I don't know, I just don't see much I can do with it. And then there's the airbrush, which is okay. I used to use that religiously, but now I've got better brushes. And besides, I only just use it for like glows and yeah, suns, that sort of thing, stars. This one is sort of a better airbrush that I came up with in, oh well, I should show you the brush settings. So to see the brush settings, you can sort of click twice, and these well, the size is currently 9.7 and the opacity is whatever you call it, however you pronounce it. It's a standard brush, by the way. It's 100%. The size with heavy pressure is 9.7. Size with light pressure is 0.2. With heavy pressure is 100%. 65% on light pressure. Flow with heavy pressure is 88%. Flow with light pressure is 12%. And you know, it's very useful. And then you have the stamp, which is like the roundness spacing between the I've got it on about 0.2, I think, no, 0.4. The roundness is around 100%. The rotation is 0 degrees. I didn't really see much about that. Scaling percentage is just 100%. And the edge, you can make it either soft or sharp, which is like around it. So I think I've got it on about here. I used to have it on like super sharp, but yeah. And then you can change the shape as well. You can actually import whatever shape you like and put it there and capture pictures as well. I'll tell you more about that later. And then you can put it with color, with like a special color, or you can ignore the edge. Texture is, so I've never really used the texture much. So texture I only use for like actual texture brushes, and I guess they're useful. No, it's pretty cool. You can use that for rough sketches, but yeah, not for this brush. And then you have, well, randomness. Wait, what's the randomness? Size, oh yeah, that's just to make it all. Yeah, so I called it the Radley brush for sketches. Pencil, the settings don't change at all, you can't, yeah. It's, the airbrush, it's a standard brush, so. The super airbrush, however, GG super airbrush with the face of Dipper, I'm sorry. You can, so the size with heavy pressure, oh well, I don't really know if I should actually share this with you because I don't ever use it. So the only ones I use most of the time is this one, this one, like ink pen for solid or background colors, and I used to use the smudge, but not so much now. I've got better brushes. This eraser, which is sort of, it's sort of like a brush but an eraser, and these ones are just standard erasers and they're okay, I suppose. That's a sharpen tool. I don't really use that much at all. These dots, no, little drops. I don't really use much of these at all, actually. So I used to use the Autodesk Sketchbook brush that comes with the, I think it was the Inktober package from the new brushes section, but I'm not too sure. That one's utterly useless. Do not use that one, please. The splotch, which is for like aesthetically pleasing things, it's already looking aesthetically pleasing. And you might see that around some of the thumbnails on my speed paint videos. Scattered freckles. These are for freckles and they work amazingly. It looks very realistic and I love it. I love it. And then this one, my favorite brush of all, it's the Manga Draft ink pen, which I use for line art and sometimes sketches. I adore it. It's the best thing, honestly. This one I used to use. This one I only use it for automatics if I feel like it now. This one's like a hard version of the fast blocker, which is one I love for shading and lighting. Right, so let's go on to the brushes that I love. So I already explained the rough brush for sketching, so let's move on to this one. So this one's just a standard brush, came with it all, and you can't actually set it more than just the size. You can't actually like change it much, and so the size is on 10.1 and the opacity is 100%, so it's okay. I can just change that up here anyway. And then we have, which one did I use next? The eraser, and I think you have advanced settings for that, which is the size with the heavy pressure is 14.9, size with light pressure is 1.7, opacity with heavy pressure, flow with heavy pressure 76%, flow with light pressure is 100%. And well, I wanted to make it like good for like erasing and stuff. So the spacing is 0.5%. The roundness is 100%. Rotation is 30 degrees. Scaling percentage 100%. Nib. The edge is sort of in the middle of soft and sharp. It's 47. I think the shape, that's just the one it comes with. I haven't put any textures on that, so you can also do the ignore edge thing. I didn't really use that at all, so I named it best eraser in the world, to be honest, because that's what I thought it was back then when I named it. Next one would be this, the splotch. I didn't actually change the name for that one. So the size with heavy pressure 169.4, size with light pressure 127. Sorry. Opacity with heavy pressure 98 and light pressure 98. Flow with heavy pressure 100%, flow with light pressure 76%. So sorry, my throat's like, oh. Spacing is 1.4, roundness 100%, 100%. Rotation 0 degrees. Rotation dynamics are off. Scaling percentage is 100%. So the edge is 75. Yeah, and the shape is it. Yeah, you know, it comes with it. I think this was part of the, what was it? Before I moved it, it was part of the watercolor set. I think that's up here somewhere. It was either the grunge textures or the watercolors. Yeah. Here, I think. Texture. Perhaps. So, yeah. And then we have the freckles, which was part of the skin texture set down here. And scattered freckles. And they're the most realistic and they're really good. So, I haven't really changed the advanced settings for this at all. So, I think this is just the normal settings. Just the size and the opacity that I've changed. And then we have the Manga Draft ink pen that I use for line art. It came with the manga set. Is that how you pronounce manga? I'm so sorry. And yeah, it's good. I love it. The size is on 19.4, but I normally have it smaller. So the size with heavy pressure 7.2, size with light pressure 1.4. Opacity with heavy pressure 100%, opacity with light pressure 8%. So that created that sort of bush thing here, and I like it. I love it. Flow with heavy pressure 100%, 100%. Flow with light pressure 5%. Spacing 1.0%. Roundness 100%. Rotation 0 degrees. Rotation dynamics are rotate to stroke. Scaling percentage is 100%, and the edge is 100. Well, it's on sharp, so yeah, it's sharp. Shape and texture I haven't activated at all, and yeah, it's good. Manga Draft ink pen. That's what it is. That's basically what I use for everything. Well, most things anyway that concern line art and just drawing without colour. You know, like, hold on, let me get rid of all of this. Sort of like, yeah. What have I done with the hair? Sorry, you know, that resembled my life. I sounded like a goat then. What the hell? I'm so sorry. So this one is for the shading and lighting. This was just a demonic version of the Manga Draft ink pen. So you can sort of like add new brushes up here where there's like circle, and like you can get rid of brushes, create new brushes, create brush sets, copy brushes, and then change their settings up here. So I just copied this brush and changed the settings so it became this, which was what I used for shading and lighting for a while, but nowadays I just use it for a few things. I think it's okay. So size with heavy pressure 10.8, size with light pressure 3.9, with heavy yeah, so as you see here. Flow with heavy pressure is 59%, flow with light pressure is 1%, spacing 1%, roundness is 100%, rotation 0 degrees, rotation dynamics, rotate to stroke, Scaling percentage is, so I think I got the previous thing fixed, I think, but I am not entirely sure. Okay, that's okay. Paint splatter, yeah, so then you have the glow, and they're actually rather good. But like, I already have the glow layer tool, so I can make anything glow like that. But these are good for like if you're drawing like super intense fire, I suppose, or like neon lights. Yeah. Then you have the smudge designer pencils. They're okay, I suppose. The artist pencils, they're actually really good. Yeah, and then you have pastels and colorless. Inked, these are good if you're drawing like super neat backgrounds. These are one of the first ones I got actually. This one's actually good for like freckles, I suppose, and also splatters of blood. These are good for stars. They're very good for stars if you're drawing stars. Pattern brush, that's okay, but I've already have the comic style ones. Texture pattern brush, that's actually pretty cool too. Texture brush, yeah, they're good. Acrylics, they're okay. Oils, they're actually very slow. I love the SpongeBob. Then you have the skin texture brushes. These are good if you're doing like freckles and highlights, like portraits, that sort of thing. Snow brushes, you get them during winter. Weather elements, so you can have lightning bolts. Rain, you can have rain as well. Fire, open flames actually. And yeah, creamy pastels. Then you have Jason's brushes, Inktober brushes. These are pretty good. You know, you have stamps like Inktober and stuff, but that's way ahead in October. Manga stamps, that don't use them unless you want to draw flowers but you're too lazy. These are good, I suppose. Snowflakes, yeah. These are great, I think. I don't know the point of them though, except for the gold chain that's gonna come in useful. NSFW. I'm sorry, I'm never drawing that in my life. Oh, tough. Cool. And yeah, you have all these different brush settings like the grunge, texture, half tone. These are great if you're drawing like old style comics and such. They're really good. Like pop art comics, if you know what I mean. Clouds, they're okay. Crosshatch brushes, okay, I suppose, but they're just not as good as actual crosshatching. See? Fur brushes, these are pretty useful, I suppose. Manga basics, this is where I got the manga brush from, and for some reason it got me 3 brush. Oh, okay, I still have the toothpaste brush then. Then you have water brushes. Oh, I've never actually used these before. That's cool. I like that. I could use that. Big directional wave. Okay, that's actually pretty good. I haven't actually used any of these, but okay. the brushes again. I think I downloaded that twice, sorry. And these are great. This is where I got my colouring brush from. It's the newest set out there right now, Jason's Free Fantasy Art Set, and it's really good. So yeah, that's my brush settings tutorial, I suppose. Lol, bye. No, that's not. Bye. I really don't know how to end things. I'm sorry. I'll see you soon, I suppose. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. I don't want you to force. I don't want to force you to, but if you like, then yeah, subscribe. That's actually really bad. I'm sorry. That's not how I normally draw.